Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about plot, because one of the things that distinguishes the short form of the poem from the short form of the short story or the extended form of the novel, etc., is plot. And by plot, I'm thinking of not just a sequence of events, but a sequence of events, one of which affects the next one. If somebody walks into the room and 5 minutes later a car crashes outside, it's unlikely that they're plot connected, at least in my imagination at the moment, because they're two events that happen sequentially but that are not connected. The difference, as I say, with plot is that one thing, somehow like a series of dominoes falling on the table, one tilts over the other one affects the sequence further down the line. Now, plot needs a number of actors, a number of agents, a number of active people to make it visible. Otherwise, it is what this is, at worst, theoretical guff. So, what we have to do is we have to imagine who are the actors, who are the agents. So your basic plot idea, A meets B, boy meets girl, boy loses girl, man gets job, hates job, etc. Something happens and something causes a sequence of events to develop from there. In anybody's life, you could imagine that any event could be the beginning of a sub-story from their whole life story. So the first point of attraction, the first point of contact, if you like, for a writer is deciding where to start. And the truth is that lots of writers write all sorts of preliminary material before they realize the story just started there. The story of who is Patboran didn't start on the 4th of September 1963, except in a biographical entry in an encyclopedia. The story for my mother started sometime around there, but it really started when I was 4 and I swallowed a whistle and I became difficult to live with. It started for my wife in 1997, etc., etc. And in those stories, there are different points of importance. So a writer, when they go to tackle a character, should, in a sense, this idea about fleshing out a character, should really spend some time thinking about who's the character when she's not in the story. Who was she when she was a kid? It may be entirely irrelevant afterwards, but it may provide the insight into the characteristic, into the trait that is central to that character's actions later in the story.